Chicago for a tech company doing online marketing. One Friday afternoon, I was looking at Reporter Suite's first story when I saw that starter school applications were closing in 3 days. I had no idea what that meant, but I spent the rest of my afternoon at work reading about it. And by the end of the day, I was convinced that I should quit my job and go to school. It was exactly the sort of change that I needed in my life. Now I just had to convince my husband. We met at our favorite beer garden. We talked about how our day went. I waited until he had a couple beers, and then I dropped the news. Although the school was brand new and no one had ever completed it before, he was so supportive. Sorry. The next week, I applied to start school and I interviewed. And then the week after, I told my employer that I was quitting my job. Of course, I thought about what would happen if I didn't go to school. My husband and I would have bought a house. And I would also still be sitting next to a unisex bathroom. Or I could quit my job, put off buying a home, and go to school. When you get to school, you hear a lot about finding a problem. Now, it can't be just any problem. It has to be something that you care about. Something that you can tell a story about. And something you want to live with the next 10 years and talk about incessantly. When it comes to finding a problem, it was easy for me. This is my dad, Norm. He's a really nice, easygoing guy. But one Christmas, he decided to get my mom one play setting. Yeah, just one. He thought he had gifts for the next 11 holidays. She asked him whether he was asking for a divorce or if she was supposed to eat by herself. And while he had the best intentions, it didn't really translate into getting a good gift. There's also the fact that I love finding gifts for my family and my friends. So I started Make Her Smile. And luckily for me, there are plenty of guys at starter school to help me out with this. So, starting on Valentine's Day, I helped some of the guys get gifts for their girlfriends. It was completely hacked together, and I had people chase paying me for the gifts. But it was a great start. This is John. John uses my service quite frequently. He even needed a gift for Easter. While he was the only one buying his girlfriend something for Easter, she was really excited about it. If you can't see it, it says #best boyfriend. He's also referred to as the Easter Bunny here, which is kind of funny because he's typically known as the Bitcoin guy. It was time for Mother's Day, and I sent around a Google form to all the guys who were interested. They answered the questions, and based on those, I'd pick out a gift. In typical Neil fashion, he told me what he wanted to do. I asked him what his budget was, and he responded with, interested on sending her on a vacation. I then asked him if he had any general ideas on what he wanted to get her, and again, it was vacation. I got the point. So I created her this beautiful box with a story inside with 3 pre-planned vacation options. Neil didn't have to do any of the work, and she didn't have to plan her own vacation. Then there was Joe. Joe thought it'd be a good idea to buy his mom pens and paper for Mother's Day. It's safe to say that I disagreed with that, so instead we put together a heart collage of all her family. At the time she was in the hospital, and she told Joe it was the first thing she looked at every morning. The responses from Mother's Day were awesome. And at this point in time, the guys could go on and then pay me on my site, which was great. Then it was time for Father's Day. And Mr. Troy Hennekoff, who was one of our teachers. And one of the first things he said to me when I told him about my idea was, I don't buy gifts for my wife. He also said, I don't buy gifts for anyone. But at this point in time, he has bought gifts for his wife, his mom, and even his dad for Father's Day. So then, at this point in time, guys could go on, create an account, see, they could log in and see their gift selection, tell me where they want it to get shipped, and then pay for it. So over the past 9 months, I've learned how to code, design, and I've started my own business. I have friends using my site, and even my dad. And I've received lots of great feedback from them. I've been learning how to handle all of that feedback, not only from the people using my site, but also my teachers. Just about every time I ask Sandy and Neil for help, they offer completely different opinions. So I have to take their feedback, put it in front of others, and then decide what I want to move forward with. Recently, Matt McCall, one of our adjunct teachers, came in talking to us about what we were supposed to do with our lives. And it was kind of surprising because he's a venture capitalist. And he also mentioned Joseph Campbell and the documentary Finding Joe. In it, there's a story about this tiger who's raised by goats. This little tiger eats and acts like a goat, but he isn't. One day, a grown tiger comes along and says, "Well, tiger, you're an idiot. You should start eating like a real tiger." And this concept of food for tigers is exactly my experience at Starter School. They've taught us how to think differently, like a developer and a designer and a business person. I've also learned that I need to be ready for change. Just recently, I've started buying gifts that were given to guys, so my name doesn't really work for that. And on Monday, I'll still be working on Maker's Day. I also will be buying more gifts and take a try at helping companies get corporate gifts. Now, before I end, I'm going to ask all of you to close your eyes. Right, everyone's eyes are closed, right? Now I want you to think about someone special in your life, whether that's your mom, boyfriend, your wife. Think about how you want them to feel when you give a gift. What's that gift? If any of you are having an issue in coming up with a gift idea, you know that I can help you come up with a great gift idea. You can go to makersmile.co or reach out to me directly. Thank you all very much.